Okay, listeners, ever get that pre-trip panic? Staring into your suitcase like, what am I forgetting?
Oh, absolutely. Packing anxiety, it's practically a travel tradition.
Right. And for me, it's always the accessories that get me. So easy to overpack, but even easier to miss the little things you really need.
It's those tiny but mighty items.
Totally. So for this deep dive, we are unpacking some expert advice from Roberta Travel Blogger Extraordinaire.
Sounds like someone who knows a thing or two about packing a bag.
Oh, for sure. She's got this post all about best accessory travel apparel. And let me tell you, she does not hold back.
Strong opinions, that's what we like to hear. Usually means strong lessons learned.
Yeah.
What's Roberta's first packing commandment?
Footwear, my friend. Footwear. And get this, she is devoted to Allbirds shoes. Like 6 pairs, even bought more mid-trip devoted.
6 pairs from one brand. Okay, that's saying something. What's the magic of Allbirds for travel?
Well, she raves about the comfort and versatility, which, key when you're on the go. But here's the clincher. Allbirds uses merino wool for their, warmer shoes and eucalyptus tree fiber for the lighter ones.
Ah, see, now that's smart. Those materials are fantastic for travel. Merino wool, breathable, surprisingly warm for how light it is. And eucalyptus fiber, super lightweight, moisture wicking, helps avoid that, shall we say, traveler's aroma.
Uh-huh, exactly. And Roberta's all about the practical tips. She even mentions that Allbirds do have sales, but you got to be on their email list.
Insider info. Love it. Always good to be in the know. All right, so comfortable, versatile shoes check. What's next on Roberta's must-have list?
Speaking of comfort and essential footwear, Roberta does not hold back on her sock recommendations. And get this, she's all about those lifetime guarantees.
Now that's confidence in a product. A lifetime guarantee. Tells me they stand behind their durability.
Right. And for travelers, that's huge. Fewer socks in landfills, more money saved in the long run. Plus, she talks about wearing her icebreakers hiking in Iceland.
Yeah.
These aren't your average gym socks. Although, even a seasoned traveler, like Roberta admits, she still gets her left and right mixed up sometimes, even with those socks.
It's oddly reassuring. Someone who seems to have packing down to a science, and even they have those relatable moments.
It makes you feel less alone, right?
Exactly. We're all human.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of getting things organized, Roberta's a huge fan of Decathlon for backpacks, especially their smaller ones.
Decathlon, they're great. For listeners who don't know, they're a French company. Make a whole range of affordable, high-quality sports and outdoor gear. Like, think of budget-friendly REI.
Yes. And she specifically calls out their Quechua brand. Have you heard of that one?
I have, yeah. They're actually owned by Decathlon, which a lot of people don't realize. Quechua makes really great no-frills gear. Perfect for, practical traveler like Roberta.
Okay, so she's onto something with this whole practical travel gear thing.
Totally.
And it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Having a separate, smaller backpack just for, day trips keeps your main luggage way more organized, less crammed.
Absolutely. It's like your mini command center within your luggage. Game changer for staying organized. Now, what other gems of wisdom did Roberta share?
This one surprised me a bit. She's got this, whole love-hate relationship with merino wool.
The merino dilemma. It's often praised as this, holy grail of travel fabrics, but it's not without its quirks. What are Roberta's thoughts?
Okay, so she's all in on the warmth factor, obviously.
Makes sense.
But she points out that merino wool, it can be tricky if it gets wet, takes ages to dry. Plus, it doesn't always pack as compactly as she'd like.
She's got a point. Merino is amazing for cold, dry destinations, where you don't need to worry about washing it constantly. But pack it for a humid climate, or if you're on the move, limited laundry options, you might end up kind of regretting it.
And that's where her advice is so useful. It's not just what to pack, it's the why behind it, which makes it way more helpful.
Exactly. Informed packing decisions, that's what we're all about. Okay, so we've got shoes, socks, backpacks. What else is on Roberta's packing list?
Get ready for a curveball because it's scarves.
Scarves. Okay.
She loves them. Even if, they're not the most practical for, minimalist packing.
Right. It's a classic packing debate. Is it purely about style, or can a scarf serve a practical purpose on the road?
For Roberta, mostly style. She loves how they dress up an outfit, add a pop of color. But she does acknowledge that maybe neck gaiters, those tube scarves, might be more functional, especially for warmth and packing light.
Yeah, neck gaiters are definitely having a moment right now. They're versatile, tacked down small, so many ways to wear them.
Totally. Okay, but get ready for Roberta's final and most passionate packing saga, hats.
Okay, hats. I'm intrigued. They can be such a personal choice, and it sounds like Roberta's got some strong opinion.
Oh, absolutely. She starts off by admitting she looks awful in hats.
Yeah.
Relatable content alert.
Right. Finding a hat that actually looks good on you is a quest.
Tell me about it. But she also knows a good hat is, like, essential, especially when you're dealing with, whatever weather gets thrown at you. She's even got a whole merino wool set for warmth.
Merino wool hat. Bold move.
Right. But then she gets into her summer hat struggles. And it's a whole roller coaster.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
So she's tried Tilly hats. The ones legendary for durability, lifetime guarantee, practically indestructible.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with the Tilly, supposedly.
And she hates them.
Whoa. Okay, strong reaction. Tillys are definitely a love it or hate it item, even amongst, hardcore travelers. What didn't she like about them?
Too warm for anything beyond mild weather, apparently, and not particularly stylish.
Practicality over fashion, not always the winning combo.
And this is Roberta, who's all about practicality.
Yeah.
So for her to reject the Tilly hat, it says something.
It really does. Shows that even the most highly recommended gear isn't for everyone. It's about knowing your priorities, your style. So what is Roberta's go-to summer hat, if not the mighty Tilly?
Get ready for it. Her ultimate hat love, a brand called Electric Pukekot.
Electric Pukekot. I'm intrigued. I've got to admit, I'm not familiar. What's so special about them?
So from what I gather, they're known for unique styles, high-quality materials, but they are not known for being easy to pack. In fact, she mentions they're not foldable at all.
Not foldable at all. That's commitment.
But she loves them so much that she once traveled with 3 on a plane.
Okay, now that is dedication. 3 hats. That's incredible. What's the story there?
So apparently she had this, beloved Electric Pukekot from a thrift store, but, it was on its last legs. Sentimental value, right?
Oh, totally.
Couldn't bear to part with it. So get this. She ordered 2 new ones and had them shipped to a friend in New Zealand so she could pick them up during her trip.
Talk about going the extra mile for a hat. Wow.
Right?
That's amazing. It really shows the emotional connection we can have to our travel gear. It's not always just about practicality. It's the memories, the experiences tied to those items.
3 hats on a plane. I mean, that's next level.
It's true love.
Right. But it does make you think, doesn't it, about that emotional side of travel gear. Sometimes it's not about having the absolute, the latest, greatest tech fabric. Sometimes it's about the pieces that just, bring you joy, even if they're little, worn around the edges.
100%. We form attachments to the things that have been on adventures with us, seen the world, that well-worn hat. It becomes more than just a hat. It's a badge of memories,
Totally. And that's what I appreciate about Roberta's blog. It's not just a sterile list of buy this, don't buy that. It's like having a conversation with a friend about their actual experiences. Funny anecdotes and all.
Totally. It makes it feel so much more authentic, relatable. She's being real. Even seasoned travelers don't have it all figured out. And there's no shame in finding what works for you, even if it means going against the grain.
For sure. I think what really stood out to me was her willingness to try new brands, even if they're not the big names. I'd never even heard of Allbirds before, or Electric Pukekot, obviously.
Yeah.
But now they're on my radar.
Right. It's a good reminder to stay curious, open to new discoveries. There are so many great companies out there doing really cool things with travel gear.
Absolutely. So listeners, as you plan your next trip, we want to hear from you. What's your non-negotiable travel accessory? The thing you pack no matter what, even if it means leaving something else behind.
Let us know. Always on the lookout for new travel inspiration.
Happy travels, everyone.